What's up, everybody? Welcome to Space Yacht Radio. It's your boy London Bridge here with in-studio guest Gesture.
Hey.
I love how you spell your name because it's like it fucks me up because I'm kind of dyslexic.
It fucks everybody up.
So
dude.
it just like I was writing notes for today, and I was just like,
I know.
There's many different spellings on my notes
Yeah.
of how it works.
Even like I'll get in my like advanced from my team with the wrong spelling sometimes.
Right.
So
I never know whether to like take offense to that because then I just try to put myself in like the person's shoes where I'm like, that person doesn't know what's going on.
It
really,
happens.
You know,
to me it's very obvious because it's my initials. That's what the name comes from.
Oh.
But yeah, to everyone else, they just think it's like,
there it is.
yeah.
And it's clever. It's clever, and it actually is meaningful.
Yeah.
As opposed to most of EDM and dance music.
I mean, to be frank, when I was creating this name, I didn't suspect that I would be sharing it with thousands of people all the time.
Right.
I would have probably picked something a little more digestible, but here we are.
Well, but when you started doing music, that actually makes the question interesting. It's not just like, why did you start doing music or whatever, but a lot of people start doing music because they want to be in front of 1,000 people. So like for you, was it coming from a different place than like, I want to be famous? Because I feel like everyone who starts doing music is like, I want to get laid, I want to get famous, I want to get rich. And like oftentimes it's like not about the actual music. Unless maybe I'm jaded. I'm sorry.
I think maybe I didn't suspect like DJing and producing to be that, but I've always wanted to be a musician. Like I went to school for music and a bunch, like it's always been my life. And even in like kindergarten, I think I was like, I'm going to be in a band. Like that was my my life goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess you just don't expect it to actually happen or whatever, you know?
Well, no, there's like a lot of hours in like the bedroom, like, making stuff, practicing guitar, playing drums, whatever it is that you were doing.
Yeah.
I definitely spent like hours playing the drums.
Yeah, I was a drummer as well.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you know what it is. I don't know what your like family, like when you were growing up playing the drums deal is, but when I think back, I can't believe my parents
I say that
let
all the
me
time.
have the kit in the fucking house and like shred after school for 3 hours.
Yeah, I say that all the time. That's like that's such a huge part because I got it too when I was in like second grade or something.
Shit, that's crazy.
So like even worse because like I just didn't. I was probably just like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like at first for like good like.
Dude, if you got drums when you were 2, you were probably like shredding.
Second grade.
Oh, second grade.
Yeah,
Still that's
like
early.
7 or something I think, or maybe third. I don't know. Around that time.
Hold on, let me fix the mic on and see your face.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
hiding.
You're good. No, let's get to the mic. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Just
but
getting things going here.
So yeah.
Space Out Radio.
Um,
Drums. Did you have the Dave Weckl like tapes, or did you ever watch Dave Weckl?
no.
That guy. What was interesting about him? He's one of the greatest drummers I've ever seen, but he has kind of like the Jerry Seinfeld 1990s mullet thing going on.
Yeah.
So, as he's an amazing drummer, but I feel like he's got to be rich. He could have a stylist. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know.
That was like the style then, though.
I know, but he still kind of rocks it now, and I'm just like,
Fair.
Dave, bro, what's the deal?
Stuck in his ways.
Although, you know what? 2019, be yourself, live your life, whatever. You want that mullet? Have that.
Mullets will come back.
Have that mullet.
It's like getting there.
Here, now you got to put the mic up now a little bit. Closer. Yeah, there it is. So if you're just joining the Facebook Live, we're here with Gesture in the studio. It's your boy London Bridge here for Space Yacht. I got a bunch of questions, but I don't know. Cool. I kind of wanted to make this more conversational. You know what I mean?
You can do a little bit of both.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So, I was digging through your music, really kind of trying to understand what you've been doing for the last like 12 months, 18 months.
Yeah.
And I think that my main takeaway was that like there's a lot of different diverse things going on in your music right now. And I think the real like stamp of that is your EDC set. Like I went and I listened to that last week. I was like had a long drive and I was like, I want to fucking while out and understand what's going on here.
Cool.
And I was like, I have like a annoying habit of I want to categorize everything and be like, what is this?
Yeah,
and what is that? And so, obviously Moomba, you're associated with Moomba, which is, something that has been around, but I feel like you're doing in your own way. But then like your latest release is kind of a house release.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty much house music. Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, where are you at musically? Are you just kind of going with the flow? Is there any plan in place? Or are you just doing what's like naturally coming to you,
Yeah. It's like Gesture musically isn't anything. I mean, when I moved to LA is when I was having my Moomba phase, or you could say, you know, and like, I mean, I'm always gonna love and rock Moombahton, but as you heard in my EDC set, my thing is just about presenting music in a certain way, and like my way, and like and sharing songs that I love and mixing diverse sounds. So that's what I do with my productions as well. Like, I think, or I hope that you can hear me and all the music that I put out.
Yeah.
But even like the next 3 records after I See You, which is the one that just came out, the house one, they're all different too. Like, I got like a kind of dirty Dutch, old school inspired thing. I got like, I don't even know how to call this, but it's like a little bit like hardcore, like donk music, but in my own way. And then the other one is like this festival percussion-y crazy thing. So, I mean, yeah, right now, I did get kind of put in this Moomba pocket, if you will, and you know, it's good. And that's the thing with categorization, like you said, everyone wants to categorize shit, everyone wants to understand shit and organize it in their own way. So it's hard to not get stuck in that, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing with my next songs.
No, but I think it's also like being that, like, people having the, like, I feel like kids now like want that. They want the diversity in their music, and not to be like when I was growing up, but when I was growing up, it was all about like you were into certain things and that's what defined you, and you didn't fuck with the other stuff, even if you kind of liked it.
Yeah, you would have, I mean, like
Stone Temple Pilots. We talk so much shit about Stone Temple Pilots. I fucking love Stone Temple Pilots. But anyway, but like I do think it's that has shifted. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's still punk rock kids who are like, fuck everything.
I mean, dubstep kids.
Right. Sure. Okay. We love the dubstep kids.
I don't hate those. That's what they are.
Well, look, techno does it as well.
Techno
is another.
Trance.
Yeah. It's,
hardcore.
You know, look, there's snobs everywhere. I mean, it's like, you know, when there's a surf phrase where it's like, you know, if that person's a jerk in the water, they're probably just a jerk in real life, you know. So that's not, you know, it's just people, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about categorization. People just want to be a part of something.
Right.
They want to be the, you know, official fucking person in the dubstep community or whatever, you know, and you just want to be part of something. So,
well, it gives you, I mean, that identity gives you like full, like who you are, you know.
Exactly.
It's real definition.
Exactly.
Because if you think about like not having, you know, what you like, what you wear, who you're friends with, all those things are like the things that really shape who you are, not only like externally, but internally, the way you're perceiving yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's, I really think that's why fucking dance music is so sick, and like, and everything that the big festivals, Insomniac, all that stuff has happened. It's like you're creating this environment for people to fucking just thrive.
Yeah,
totally.
Totally.
It's like, it's dope. How's it been for you? So you've been hitting a lot of festivals. You know, you just also played Hard. You have Nocturnal coming up. Like, how's that festival journey been for you in terms of your experience? I mean,
it's been amazing. I mean, I think the festivals is really where, like, before and after, like, I get my most kind of like surges of like this kind of growth in fans. And like Hard Summer last year, for example, it was just like night and day. Like the day before and the day after, I feel like I doubled my fan base. So it's cool because when I was first starting to play these festivals, Insomniac Records kind of just like gave me a chance, maybe like 3 even 4 years ago at EDC Vegas, and it was like me proving myself and coming correct. And like, you know, you can get a chance. Anyone can get a chance. Random people who shouldn't even get a chance get chances. But if you show up and prove yourself, then that's where the growth comes from, you know. 100%. And that's kind of how it feels for me. Like, I just got enough chances and really proved myself in those circumstances.
Yeah, well, that's what the preparation is for, right?
Exactly,
it's like it really is like thinking, like, you know, we were talking about sports earlier. It's like kind of on some sports shit where it's like, you know, you can't guarantee that you're going to make every play or sink every shot, but the preparation gets you to, you know, the highest chance of being able to do that. Absolutely. I think it totally correlates with definitely live performance. Obviously, production is another thing, but live performance is really clutch because you can make fantastic music and be like totally a bore on stage, and and people see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I think that's the thing that I'm kind of studying when I'm looking at different artists, being like, how are they coming correct? Like, where are they coming from? Is the passion there? Like, do you fucking see it in their sweat? You know what I mean?
Yeah. In DJing for me, it came before production, but it's almost like there's people who were DJs growing up without like DJing. Like, I was the kid who like made mix CDs with my friends in cars and just like smoke weed, and like we would always just be discovering new music, and like it was so cool to find cool music and show your friends. That was like such an achievement in my close friends, at least, or for me. So like that's kind of my DJ like spirit. It's like, so it's come from a long time ago. So being a DJ now, it's so important to me to not like be snobby about it, not play the songs everyone else is playing, and like be here to like, this is something new and different.
Well, that's your role now.
Yeah.
That's shout out to Dombresky. That's what that's your role now. I'm going to take that line. But it is. It's like you play a role in this where you are the curator. They're looking for you to show them shit they haven't heard, or at least your spin on something they might have heard, you know.
Right. And you know, everyone's doing their own thing and thriving, but I feel there is a lack of that in DJ culture at the moment, or
lack of what?
Of just diversity, and like, you know, really bringing like an original idea to the stage. Maybe like I think a lot of DJs are afraid to play songs they really love, but they're not sure if they're gonna go off as hard as this like really hard trap song or whatever. So they shy away from it. But I think that's, you know, part of my mission is to do things like that.
I think it's easy to get in your own head, or in one's own head. You know what I mean? With DJ, even for me with DJ sets, I still struggle with kind of what you just said, which is like, you know, there's some big records that everyone's playing, but I also like those records too. And like, how do I reconcile, like, if I'm going to play them, but if I saw somebody else play them, be like, oh, everybody's playing that record, you know? So like, how do you reconcile that? And I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's more just like, at the end of the day, I'm always like, fuck it, I'm going to play what I want to play, and I'm going to deliver it in a different way. Exactly, like that's on me to either mix it interestingly, or do live stuff, or be on the mic, or whatever it is. But it's like, it's funny in the house world, the whole Fisher thing is like, you know, we talk about Fisher every episode because it's now like a cultural thing. It's like kids come up to you after your show and be like, dude, play Fisher. Like that shit is real. Yeah. Kids with their phones putting like play Fisher is very real. Wow. So, you know, I think it's a good example of like house music and that style is getting so popular that like, yeah, do you play those records? Do you not? Yeah. I think, but the edits really help with that, right?
Yeah,
that's how you get away with all of it, where it's like, okay, I like it, now I'm gonna fucking do my shit.
Yeah,
you know?
and that is easier for me too, because I play literally every genre of music in my set, so I can find a very unique edit or whatever to play every time. You know, I never really struggle with that.
Right. No, I think maybe that is the answer. Maybe the answer is the edit.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, when in doubt, if you're like, I don't want to play that record, okay, well then make an edit and then you can play the record.
Like
okay,
I made a bunch of Moomba edits of like popular rhythm and dubstep songs for my EDC set, because I was playing the Bass Rush bass pod stage. I was like, you know, I don't want to compromise what I do, but also I want to, you know, cater and deliver a certain thing that people will enjoy and I will enjoy. So always thinking of that.
100%. So how much preparation when you're doing those bigger festivals, like, is that something where you're putting a lot of time into those, or are you kind of freestyling? What's your preparation method?
Yeah, I put a good amount of effort into just like the edits mostly, just so that it is originally me, like we've just been talking about. I mean, that's important to me. But yeah, like, you know, good month or so leading into these big festivals for sure. Yeah. You know, I mean, my sets, it's almost like a comedian. Like, you come up with your set and then you play it a couple times and you fine tune it and tweak it, and then by the time, I mean, for me especially, by the time I've played a similar set 3 or 4 times, I'm like, all right, well, most of these people have seen me all 3 of these or 4 of these times, so
no, it's
I better
true.
bring something else, you know, for them, and so they can keep, you know, finding something new.
Yeah, no, that's like I've a couple DJs where I'm like, dude, I saw this set a year ago.
Yeah,
like, I know what this is. Yeah, you know. So yeah, that's something that is always like,
it's tough to get out of it. It's like a neural pathway thing where you play one song and you're like, I know the next 3 songs sound fucking dope right now.
That's what it is, because you unlock the pathway to making a really dope, like, you know, phase of the night or whatever that is, 7 minutes of back to back to back. So I get that too. And it like, well, look, you could also say like you did hone that, you figured that out, you took time in putting that together. So maybe it's like that's a new version of like a song, like people play their songs when whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, that those 3 together and those mashups is like, that's your fucking version of it.
Absolutely. I think, and it's like going back to this comedy example, is like the same thing. Like, people don't mind hearing the same joke a few times. It's still funny. They still love it if they love you. But like I think a good artist knows when it's time to do new stuff, and even sometimes I'll be like, I know I do this all the time, but I'm gonna mix this one to this one because it's so dope.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, of course.
It's like there's a couple things that just I'm like, I'm not gonna play this one today. It's like, no, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
So like you were talking about earlier about playing instruments. So you came from kind of the musical background first, and just kind of like actually knowing how to play instruments, because a lot, half the people that I talk to on the show, like some of them are like, I don't play a single instrument. I just played video games and learned Ableton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do come from a musical background, but I was never like early on, I was told I was really good at drums, and I would always play in like the advanced band, like in school. Like I would play in the older kids band and all this shit. So I kind of got like too comfortable as one of those like unachievers who was told they were too good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
so I never like excelled at any instrument. I know piano pretty well, guitar, drums. I got a major in classical music, so like at one point I was pretty good at piano. I could like sight sing a song from just notes, and like I could recognize intervals. I mean, I could probably still pull that out a little bit, but
yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of it's still in there.
Yeah, it's definitely still in me, but like I'm not like, there's some guys like Virtual Riot, for example, is just like, he's a musician. There's like people who I've seen like just like shred on the keys or something. I'm just like, oh, like that's a musician,
Right.
So I'm not calling myself a musician.
No, but I mean, not that at this point it no longer matters. I think
sure.
The people who talk about that are people who are not into dance music. They're like rock and roll purists or something, where it's like, and we're like, we don't even talk about whether the person is
it's true. It's true.
Of like no consequence. But I think that's also like, because I also think that's because gaming is so like part of culture as well, where it's like it's not too distant from gaming.
Yeah,
like
that's true. That's true.
If you're putting together a tune like on Ableton, it's like it's a different kind of journey. You know what I mean?
No,
and you are still trying to defeat the like.
It's not a bad analogy.
Yeah. You're trying to defeat the like whackness. You know what I mean? The whackness is always there.
Yeah.
And he's always looking over your shoulder like, this is gonna be super whack.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, fuck you, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Whoa! Next level. I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that. So on the Moomba side of things, like there's also like just I think a Latin influence in a lot of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of your brand, that's like kind of part of what you've been putting out there. So is that inherent? Is that something that like you picked up and you just fell in love with, or where's that kind of aspect of your music coming from?
Yeah, it's something that I've always kind of been drawn to, and I think it's kind of my percussion background too.
Right.
Like world percussion, I always loved like djembes and bongos and
that makes sense.
timbales. Like that's just cool. I just loved that. So when it came to producing, like my first like kind of main genre was this like thing called zouk bass, which was kind of like African Latin inspired electronic music, and I just kind of followed that path, and I always tried to make sure that I was like aware of the culture and whatnot that I was like trying to take part in. So when I moved to LA and like all my fan base started growing around this Moomba thing, I just like, most of my fans are Latin American and Mexican. Mm-hmm. So I tried to like give back in a way that is relevant and like special,
Right. No, and it means a lot. I mean, I see what you're doing, and also Shade, who's like out
Mm-hmm.
there, he's like representing that as part
absolutely.
of his identity. And I think it makes a lot of sense, because if you see the makeup of people who are coming to these raves and coming to these shows, I mean, Space Yacht, it's like a very heavy Latin influence,
absolutely.
and I fucking love that it's coming to be part of it. I mean, it's also, I was thinking about this too. I'm like, and it's also been part of like pop culture. I mean, like fucking Pitbull in the early 2010s, mm-hmm. whatever, and then Taki Taki and all these things. Like it's almost like dance music is late to that in a weird way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's like the secret undercurrent, and it's not like no one outside of the people who are doing it like talk about it or think about it. It's just like, this is cool, I like this, it's like, it's not like on people's minds,
Right, it's not like an identifier,
right,
in the same kind of way. But I think it will be, and it can be.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I've been doing it for I feel like I've been doing it for a long time, and it always kind of does feel like it stays on that undercurrent level. And who knows, but like, there's always been this moment for me, like, oh, it's about to happen, it's about to take this mainstream space, but then it kind of just does it in a secret way, like a Major Lazer crossover radio hit,
That's
and you're
true.
like, okay, well, that was kind of it, but not really.
Right,
DJ Snake
right.
doing it again, like with multiple #1 radio hits, and it's still just like it's there, but only the people who really know it, you know.
Right,
yeah.
right. So I want to, in more of my research, I saw that you're doing, like, you got the YouTube videos going, you got the vlogs going, all that shit, and like that's my jam. You know what I mean? I wish I could be a vlogger. I'm just always like, I always forget the camera. I don't know how to work the camera. But like your hard vlog is fucking hilarious, and I love it. And so like, where's that come from? Where you're just like, fuck it, let's like, I want to put myself out there and just do some shit, right? Is that fun?
Like pretty much. I mean, the real story is that I had been sitting on my couch watching vlogs. Like YouTube has started to be a main source of entertainment for me, maybe like a year ago or so. Yeah. And then that whole time I'm like, I'm gonna vlog. I need to vlog. I'm gonna be a DJ vlogger.
Right.
And it never happened because, like you said, like it just takes a lot of effort. And then I had a meeting with my management team, and we were going through my social media, and they're like, this is good. YouTube, you have like 200 subscribers. You need to, work on that. I was like, right. All right, I'm going to start the vlog. Like, I got to do it. But it's been really rewarding. I mean, it does take a lot of work. I edit all of them myself.
Right.
I come up with the ideas, obviously, everything. I've like put a panel of grass carpet on my wall to make a cool background. Like,
you're doing all the it's like tears. Vlogger 101.
Yeah,
dude.
like I'm doing everything, but it's been dope. I mean, I love it. It's a lot of work, and it's extra, but I do love it.
No, but it's all part of this. It's actually all part of it. It's not actually extra. I think that people who aren't doing things like that, who have a good personality, like it's like, you should be doing that.
Yeah,
that's what you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
And I know not everybody's like that. There's a lot of people who are more like, I just want to be in the studio, leave me alone, which is fine. Yeah, that's good. But have you been watching Taboo's videos at all?
No.
You got to check out this kid Taboo. He does some like real funny Southern, kind of talking shit about like Wooks and rail riders and things like that.
Oh, actually, I feel like I have.
But it's in jest. I mean, he plays the bass music, but
I think I've seen that.
Check out some of that stuff.
Does he post them on Twitter?
Yeah,
I've seen that guy.
Yeah, like he always has the natty lights.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I like that guy.
Funny.
No, but I appreciate that because it does show it's like going a little bit above and beyond, and I think fans really do want that because it is a deeper connection. I think for me, like this show has been kind of the thing that people talk to me about most because it's the way that I'm engaging with them in a regular way. Yeah. In addition to music. So
I mean, my mission has always been to be very accessible. Yeah. I know most of my fans by name, like a lot of them. I'm just always like in the social media conversation. I want people to know, like, I think a lot of DJs, I don't know if take for granted is the right word, but a lot of DJs like just kind of put on this fame persona and maybe it's like a little out of shyness or whatever, but I mean that's the last thing I think we need in this world right now is to kind of like other each other as much as we can, and like I just want to be like, hey, like if you want to be a DJ, just put in the work because that's what I did and that's why I'm here, and I want to give back as much as possible. Here's some free tacos or whatever, like I'm serving them to you, like because I'm saying thank you for buying a ticket to this event. Like I'm not drinking a bottle of tequila and then showing up at the last minute. Like I mean, sometimes I do that.
Right. No, but I get what you're saying. What I mean? You're being appreciative.
Yeah, it means the world to me that I'm here. So I think that's important. That's part of the vlog too. It's like I'm giving back and like here's what I do behind the scenes. Check it out. Like it's not glamorous. Sometimes it is, but I'm just here like you. Like I show up to the show in my car like you. Like. We're the same.
Right. No, and I think that's a difference between the modern day, celebrity or whatever, modern day influence or whatever, is that like people really now expect that from people. And I think it can be a nice thing, whereas I think when back in the day there was a little bit of more of a wall between artists and the fans.
Yeah, well, it's the internet. Yeah. It's like you used to have to convince agents, managers, advertisers, whatever, booking people. That's who you had to convince back in the day, and then they would get the fans. But now you can just go straight to your fans.
Right, exactly.
So do that.
Right. Right. No, it's dope. Yeah. So what's up with your taco parties? What's the vibe with those? For those who are not aware.
Yeah. So like it started out just like in a room, maybe like a pop up this size, maybe just like 50 or so people, and like a single tray of just homemade. I had this carnitas recipe that I made, started making in college. Just like that was my best recipe, and like and I was like, okay, well this is the best. I love to cook. That's like another part of what I do. So I was like, well this is my best recipe, and tacos are easy to serve up. So let's do a taco party, Right. And Yeah, dude, it just started kind of small, and it's a lot of work again.
Right.
But now, yeah, the last one was at Academy, and
Yeah.
I literally hand served 700 tacos, like,
Dude, that's
to my fans, which was awesome. I mean, it was a lot. I didn't expect that, but
yeah.
Yeah,
No, but I heard the turnout for that show. I mean, you sold that show out.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, that
yeah.
was a huge.
it was awesome.
It seems like that was like a big moment. You know
Yeah,
what
it was
I mean?
definitely a big moment. I mean, we are just like grassroots and like do it yourself, me and my whole team. So everything we do is like just genuine, and like if we get to sell some shit out like that, we're like
No, it's incredible.
fucking grateful.
No,
you
that's
know?
amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thanks.
So you got the new tune you just dropped like last week. I See You.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has more of like that kind of housey, bass housey
Yeah.
vibe to it. So that's definitely something people should check out. What else? What else is coming up for you in terms of shows and music
Yeah, I
releases?
got 3 more tracks coming, and we're gonna do like one a month pretty much. So
Sick.
yeah, I would say subscribe to my YouTube, which is Gesture Music, JSTJR Music, because we're gonna keep all the music kind of like based there. I mean, it's still on streaming services, but I got these really cool visualizers for the music, and we
Sick.
kind of like curated this whole thing. So YouTube's a good spot because I'm posting weekly vlogs there now, and
Totally.
that's the best place to follow me. Pretty
Go
much.
subscribe
yeah.
on
And,
YouTube.
yeah, I'm doing Nocturnal Wonderland, playing the Parliament Art Car there.
Hell yeah. We'll be
few
there.
other things that I don't think are announced yet, so I can't say. But
Yeah.
I mean, in 2020 is already like looking stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm really stoked for next year. Like, yeah, like in more than a year from now, I already know about some things that are happening. So
Right.
I'm feeling good, and get on board.
That's so
Get on
dope.
the Gesture train.
That's so dope. Before we go, tell me about how spicy were the spicy noodles? Because I saw you.
They weren't
eating that.
actually that bad, and we ate them really fast.
I know. I thought that was what made me laugh about it, because she was like, "Yo, why are we doing this so fast?" You're like, this is dumb.
That's like that's me and my most competitive friend. Like,
Right.
I'm a competitive person, and when I find someone with the same personality, it's like bad news.
Right.
So like, yeah, everything turns into a competition with us. But then I was like, maybe it wasn't as spicy because we ate it so fast, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty spicy, but I was expecting worse. And then I go and I read the what's it called? The Scoville.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad. It's like 9,000, which is like a little above like a jalapeno, I think. So
Right.
it wasn't even. I need
You've
to
been
do, like, the
watching. You've
next
been
thing.
watching too much of the Hot Wings show.
Yeah, I know, dude. Those things are like in the millions Scovilles.
I'd have times like I'd binge it, like I'm watching The Office. I'd watch like just like fucking 100 of those episodes in a row, and then I'd be like, oh, I want spicy food. Like it make me think I'd want that,
Yeah,
and then
true.
I'd eat it and be like, I don't even like spicy food. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
yeah. It definitely hurt the next day. Not gonna lie about
Yeah,
that.
no,
Like
that's not,
it was bad.
That's not good.
But-
right there.
I mean, that's the thing. Like on the vlog too. Like I try to do food challenges because it's like a cool YouTube thing, and I always kind of regret it. So I think I might need to phase that out. Like I'm either like full or like my mouth hurts or like something.
Yeah, no, I'm off that. I got into like a real pizza thing, like in terms of my cooking. Like I got very into making dough. I had like
Oh yeah.
the last 3 months I've been like making Neapolitan pizza, and
Sick.
my wife is just like, she shut it down. She's like, we can't eat pizza every day. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I know. We got a
So-
pasta, like an extruder, like
Yeah,
an automatic
yeah,
pasta
yeah,
maker.
yeah.
And
Some
like,
rigatoni.
it's so dope. But then it's like, all right, we gotta put this away for
Yeah.
a little bit. Too much
Yeah.
pasta.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, we have a guest mix from Gesture, I think, coming up. I mean, not right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna edit it in.
Yeah.
But
So you guys won't hear it right now, but you guys who are listening now.
But
in the
if you're
future will
listening
hear it.
on Insomniac Radio and Space Yacht Radio actively, like live, then you are going into a mix from Gesture. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate
it. Was a
it.
great time.
And it's your boy London Bridge for Space Yacht Radio. We will catch you next week on the Flippy Flop. Later.
Peace.